Hello and welcome back to the M&M Evening News. I am, of course, your host, Pretzel M&M. And today, we're going to be discussing a very serious topic. Parent M&Ms, you might want to put your M&M minis to bed. And also, make sure you lock the windows and doors. Various reports are now saying that a roving Tucker Carlson has entered M&M Town. Now, I don't mean to alarm anyone, but if Tucker Carlson does come upon any M&Ms, he will attempt to lure them into his Tucker Carlson van with promises of hungry children waiting to consume the M&Ms. But be warned, there are no hungry children in the van. Tucker Carlson plans to abscond with the M&M people to molest them and bend them to his perverse man-on-candy sexual desires. So I repeat, keep your M&M minis home, but also be aware to not let your sexy women M&M wives and girlfriends, daughters, sisters, and general coworkers and friends be at risk. We don't know for sure that Tucker Carlson will abduct or molest any male M&Ms, but we can't rule it out. Tucker Carlson has been seen walking around with a M&M-shaped dress in one hand and a pair of high-heeled M&M boots in the other. So be safe out there. Lock your doors and don't trust anyone with a van full of quote-unquote children. And now, M&M sports. Welcome to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ruben Uncut. Today's episode, I can't believe we're talking about this again, but apparently, Tucker Carlson done gone and fucked up M&Ms for everybody. If you're not aware, Tucker Carlson has been ranting and raving about the wokeness of M&Ms. His main complaint being is that he wishes they were more sexy, and also he must be a foot guy because his basis of how sexy these M&Ms are apparently entirely based upon their footwear. You know, what kind of shoes they're wearing. I mean, it is the most gendered part of the M&M. I get that. But let's fucking talk about this. Tucker Carlson's ranting and raving over fucking candy has resulted in M&M's suspending their M&M ad campaign. Whether this is a serious move or one to make fun of Tucker Carlson, we won't know. I don't know at the time of this recording just yet. My fingers are crossed that Maya Rudolph is just in on an elaborate gag to punk Tucker Carlson. More like Sucker Carlson. Am I right, guys? There's no one to high five me here. Why did I raise my hand? Okay, anyways, where were we? So Tucker Carlson, as if you're not aware, is a talking head on television, a big old doofy pundit of a man who used to happily wear a bow tie before someone pointed out that it made him look like a total little pussy ass bitch. Of course, that's what Tucker Carlson really is, a pussy ass bitch. He came from a rich family and decided the thing he really wanted to do was just go on television and talk to people about his feelings, because these things are, of course, his feelings. And by that, I mean they are typically based on his quote unquote intuition and not facts. Tucker Carlson has proceeded to be upset at M&M's for being less sexy, which is a weird thing for any adult male to come out and be like, back in my day, you wanted to put your dick in an M&M and it wasn't weird. No, it was weird, Tucker Carlson. It was weird. M&Ms don't have genitals. In fact, if I were a right-wing pundit, the last thing I would want to do in this day and age is try to use the M&Ms as an example of gender. Because if your argument is that gender is connected to our genitals, why would you ever indicate candy? They have no genitals. All their gender is a 100% expression. 100%. Their genders are construct out the ass. They don't even have asses, by the way. They have less genitals than the average person. I'm going to play you some clips here. I'm not going to bother to show you video because it's just Tucker Carlson sitting behind a desk like a fucking piece of shit. And I mean, there'll be pictures of M&Ms, and I guess I'll describe the M&Ms to you, but you probably know all the M&Ms. Let's be real here. But Tucker Carlson, here we go. Let's hear what Tucker Carlson has to say about this shit. Okay. Just, if you find yourself to be generally a stupid person, you may want to step away right now because you probably can't afford to lose the brain cells this is going to fry. Okay, here we go.
Bet you didn't think M&Ms were pushing intolerance, but they were. They've been changed. You're seeing the changes right now on your screen. The green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers. Why the change? Well, according to M&M's, quote, we all win when we see more women in leading roles.
Note the fact that has nothing to do with shoes. Like, he's not even drawing a complete line here in his argument. His argument is, oh, they did it for women representation. It was still a woman. I mean, it was still a woman identifying candy. Nothing has changed here. They just are wearing flats. They still clearly have the lips, which is how you can tell the male from the female M&Ms, apparently.
Because leading women do not wear sexy boots. Leading women wear frumpy shoes. The frumpier, the better. That's the rule.
They're literally just shoes.
The brown M&M has, quote, transitioned.
They're literally just fucking shoes. They are, who gives a shit? How, do you understand that the designs for cartoon characters change all the time? Like, this is meaningless. Also, why is it so quiet? Why is this, seriously, I want this video to be louder and it's not. Let's see what happens if I do that. Does it make the sound better?
From high stilettos to lower block heels. Also less sexy. That's progress.
Who cares? Who cares? This is dumb. This is dumb. He's got the brown M&M up now. They're just shoes, Tucker. They're just shoes. You're just coming on TV and sharing too much about your fetishes for shoes.
M&Ms will not be satisfied.
The gayest of all fetishes.
Until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous.
They're fucking chocolate, Tucker. Why they don't need to be sexually appealing. They need to be food appealing. What is wrong with you?
The moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them.
You're not going to drink with an M&M. Why would you ever drink? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna get a drink with an M&M. I want an M&M. I only want to eat M&Ms that I could also sit down and have a drink with. Do you only eat cows you think are cool? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The goal. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity. They've won.
They're candies. No one else was horny for these. I was never horny for M&Ms. Maybe some weirdos on the internet are. Apparently, Tucker Carlson is. This doesn't make sense. You're saying, oh, look out, the gays are going to sexualize our children. By the way, why are they desexualizing the candy we sell to children? Man, I miss the back in the old day when candies gave you erections. Like, what is this? What is this, Tucker?
Meanwhile, in a nod to the burgeoning wellness movement, the orange M&M will, quote, acknowledge and embrace his anxiety. And actually...
Okay, I'm just going to say this. If you've been paying attention, the orange M&M has always been the anxious one. Anxiousness in a character is a long-running character trope. This is not weird. It makes sense that each of the M&Ms have different personalities. You've got the red guy who's kind of a confident jerk. You've got the yellow guy who's a well-meaning dumbass. And you got the orange guy who's anxious about everything. These are just ways to differentiate their character. But you know what? Acknowledging and embracing his anxiety, sure, why not? Why not? Why not, Tucker? Why is that a problem? What do we lose from him acknowledging the fact that he has anxiety? We can tell he has anxiety.
Actually, if you look at him, the orange M&M does appear very anxious. Maybe he doesn't like all the ugly new shoes he sees around him. Maybe
he's always been anxious. If you've seen any of the ads with the orange one, he is the anxious M&M. They're just acknowledging that he's anxious. This is nothing. It's nothing.
Maybe he liked the sexy boots. Maybe the orange M&M is a secret sexist himself.
Okay, so anyways, that's as much of the clip as I can find. I don't care. We're gonna, but this is like, seriously, how can you take this seriously? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what you want, Tucker. Like, this doesn't matter. Like, nothing about this matters. Like, who cares? It's just marketing. The marketing will either succeed or fail. It's capitalism. Suck it up and deal with it. Okay? I know. So, like, this is the thing. Do you want to know why conservatives want to complain about wokeness? Because they're mad that wokeness sells. Because what is wokeness? Well, it's just corporations trying to make their product more friendly to all conceivable markets. That's the idea. If your item is more inclusive, you grow your customer base. That's just how capitalism works. So yes, most companies don't want to be offensive. Most companies want to put forward an inclusive look to them. And the thing about it is a lot of these companies are not actually woke. They're just trying to appeal to people. That's all it is. And there's actually room for criticism in that. There's actually room to be like, does Gillette really care about men being better, or are they just hoping this will sell razor blades? That's a good question. But being like, oh, Gillette is demasculinizing men, it's a problem, is ridiculous. To be like, oh no, the M&Ms have. They've changed the M&M shoes and they're less sexy now. It's not a real thing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Why should candy be sexy? Why? Like, I need, like, someone give me a good reason as to why candy we sell to children should be sexy. Like, it does, like his concerns don't even make sense. It should be an M&M I want to sit down and have a drink with. Okay, so first of all, he's already insinuating, like, he's not talking about, first of all, he's not talking about having a drink with the male M&Ms who haven't changed at all. Apparently he has a problem that the orange M&M is anxious, but he's literally complaining that the women M&Ms aren't sexy anymore. So he wouldn't go up to one and try and put a roofie in their drink at a bar anymore. Oh my God, Tucker, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's what we're dealing with here. That's what we're dealing with. This is not news. This is not news. This is not even real commentary. What Tucker Carlson is doing is shit. It's nonsense. It's to distract you. It's to get ratings. It's to feed into a narrative that your values in society are being erased. But this doesn't erase anyone's values. No one's values have been erased by any of these changes. They're just fucking candy. They were born sans vaginas and penises, Tucker. By your beliefs in gender, they should be androgynous. And second of all, they're not androgynous. They still have gender markers on them. Just that their shoes are less. This is nothing. This is nothing. And because Tucker Carlson is willing to go on television and lambast the world over fucking nothing, he has taken away from society the glory of the M&M's ads. Okay? Look, let's be real here. We all hate commercials, But you know what commercial almost no one hates? The M&M commercials. Why? Because they're quirky and cute. Even if you're not buying M&Ms or give a shit about eating them, you're like, hey, it's J.K. Simmons. We love J.K. Simmons. It's good shit, okay? But now we got Maya Rudolph. And to be fair, Maya Rudolph, I believe, and I may have this backwards, was already involved with promoting M&Ms. And I have nothing against Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph is cool. But if we have genuinely lost the M&Ms because of Tucker Carlson, then that is a tragic loss brought on by a man being a totally creepy douchebag. Because that's all he is. Tucker Carlson is a creepy douchebag. And everything about this proves that. Like, what is this conversation even about? You want sexier cartoon M&Ms on TV, but you don't want gay people in schools. Do you understand how batshit backwards insane that is? Like, there's a very real reason I don't take the quote-unquote anti-groomer movement very seriously. First of all, they're clearly being misled by a bunch of lunatics. Second of all, it's hard to take them seriously when things like child pageants are still a thing, and they're not going after those, which are some pretty goddamn clear grooming. And we have evidence that molestation has occurred. Hell, one of the creepiest missing child murders ever is tied to that industry. And yet, where are the Republicans going? Honey Boo Boo is grooming, because Honey Boo Boo is grooming. Everything they're doing is grooming. It's fucked up. But no, admitting gay people exist is grooming. And making M&Ms less sexy is woke. Like, it doesn't fucking make sense. This is literally insane. Tucker Carlson is a grifting piece of shit. That's all this is. That's all this is. And he's ruined M&Ms. Tucker Carlson has fucking ruined M&Ms. And that sucks. That sucks mighty. Tucker Carlson has come out with a response to his own ruining of M&Ms. You know, like the total fucking piece of shit dork he is. Let's make fun of that.
Well, for most of its history as a company, Mars Inc. was known for making candy, Milky Way, Skittles, Snickers, and most famously M&Ms, which they claim melted in your mouth but not in your hand. But over time, churning out delicious and highly lucrative calorie bombs was not enough for Mars. Its executives.
Side note, Tucker Carlson's family made their money on, and I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty confident his family made their money on TV dinners, which have definitely contributed to obesity in America. So anything he's about to say about candy making people fat is just him trying to say all the stuff he knows is going to make you angry at them. He's trying to present an image of hypocrisy. However, it's not really hypocrisy because everyone knows what candy is, and candy companies know what they're making. And also has nothing to do with inclusivity at all.
Wanted to be Starbucks. Sure, our product is unhealthy, but we're woke, so please don't notice.
Look, I don't consider M&Ms that woke. How are they woke? What are they doing that is so woke? Besides changing the shoes on M&Ms.
So in its ad campaigns, Mars set about making its M&M characters as unattractive as possible because when you're intentionally repulsive, it's clear you've got the right politics. So the green M&M lost her sexy boots, the brown M&M.
That statement right there is nonsense. First of all, I've seen Republicans. They're ugly as hell, okay? Most Republicans, ugly as hell. No offense to the few random attractive Republicans who are only ugly on the inside. But Jesus Christ. This is the type of... See, if you think that's a real argument, well, they're not attractive, so this must be a move against masculinity and pro-wokeness. Like, if that's a real argument to you, you're dumb. I'm sorry, that's not a real argument. That argument's not based on anything. That the line he's drawing there is not a real line. It doesn't connect. Just like my see, I would just make fun of Republicans for being ugly, but like honestly, I haven't measured that. I just know that Tucker Carlson is one ugly piece of shit.
Her stiletto heels. The orange M&M, meanwhile, became a poster boy for the mental health crisis and would henceforth, quote, acknowledge and embrace his anxiety.
So some of this shit is the same shit he said before.
Because America badly needs more neurotic candy.
He's always been neurotic. We've already established that. Moving on.
Then late last year, Mars went further. The company added obese and distinctly frumpy lesbian M&Ms to promote, quote, feminism and body.
Okay, so first of all, if you can't see this, but he has pictures up, and on one side are the brown and green M&M holding hands. Because I guess they don't have genitals, man. What do you want from their dating lives? But the thing is that those M&Ms are the same size they've always been. The brown and green M&M, clearly the same size they've always been. So but now the new purple one, he's saying is, he's talking about three different M&Ms and acting like they're all the same M&Ms.
Body positivity. In other words, explained the Mars Corporation, it's good to be fat. Have some more M&Ms.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about this. Dear Tucker Carlson, it couldn't possibly be that the purple M&M looks fat because the purple M&M is a fucking almond M&M. She's an almond M&M. How big did you think the almond M&M was gonna be? You do know the different M&Ms are meant to represent different flavors and brands of M&Ms, right? Did you know? Like this, it's asinine. She's the almond M&M. The yellow one's always been big because he's a fucking peanut. Holy shit. So dumb. And he thinks what he's saying is hilarious. Oh, because candy makes you fat. Not TV dinners. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, we reported on this at the time and pledged a deeper investigation into it. But before we can...
What do you mean you pledged a deeper investigation into it, Tucker? What do you mean? What do you mean you pledged a deeper investigation into candied M&M marketing? What the fuck are you talking about? That's insane. If that's what you're doing with your investigative powers, while you also believe that there are real things going on in the if you genuinely believe that there is some type of evil pedophile ring or grooming operation happening in America, Tucker, if that's something you genuinely believe, why would you ever invest any amount of time into investigating goddamn M&Ms? That doesn't even make sense. That's like someone's like, will you find my missing child? And they're like, okay, we will. As soon as we find out who threw those eggs at the mayor's house. That's going to take top priority until we catch that guy. It doesn't make sense. It's nonsense. The things he's saying are either just bullshit they're making up or signs that they are dumb and dishonest and disingenuous even.
To complete our investigation, Mars announced that it's suspending its ad campaign. A chocolate vendor promoting obesity was just too shameless even by modern standards.
What the hell are you talking about, Tucker? That's not why they canceled it. They canceled it because you made them controversial. Here's the thing you have to understand. Most corporations are politically neutral. They only care about getting positive reception. Okay? They want to be as uncontroversial as possible. That's what corporations want. Unless they're selling an item where the marketing is specifically related to being edgy, they're going to try to be as inclusive and unedgy as they possibly can be. Because that's how corporations get the largest share of the market. I should not have to explain this to people who claim to be fiscally conservative and love capitalism. Here's the reality. These people are douchebags who know nothing.
But at CNN, they were infuriated by the news. News anchors.
Who gives a shit what CNN thinks? CNN's probably just infuriated by it because they know some of their watchers want to shit on you. So that they get mad about it, then they get to draw attention from their viewers who hate you. I don't watch CNN or Fox, just for the record.
Who have not had a carb since the Bush administration became hysterical as they defended Mars's pro-fatness campaign.
This is first of all, Tucker, leave fat people alone. You know, they have their own lives. They don't need to deal with people like you coming on the television and being all like, oh no, we can't promote fatness. Look, okay, man, McDonald's fucking promotes fatness, okay? You want us to stop eating at McDonald's? You want to shut down capitalism to stop fatness? Because guess what? Capitalism is part of why we're fat, okay? Okay, that's just a fact. The wheels of capitalism have made high calorie, low nutrition food a fucking staple in the American diet. Okay? Many people who are fat are not fat because they did anything wrong. Okay? If you grow up and your family grows up thinking that Big Macs and fast food are just as nutritious and healthy as other foods, never mind the fact that deep frying actually robs food of nutrients, they're not going to see it coming until they're already fat. Okay? Second of all, there's more to health than being fat. Let fat people live, okay? Okay, it's their body, it's their choices. And people being mean to them isn't going to change any of their choices, okay? Here's the reality. Losing weight is a lot more complicated than anyone's going to tell you it is. Second of all, you are better off being fat and active than you are being skinny and inactive. And I know that because I was briefly almost part of the skinny obese. I almost joined that rank. I was pre-diabetic. Why? Because it was barely moving and I was eating a lot of sugar. That's why. So what did I do? I started exercising. I had been physically handicapped for a number of years because a tumor ate my tibia bone, and I couldn't walk right for a few years, which resulted in me being very physically inactive. And then also, while I was recovering from that, I got a job in insurance where I sat in a desk all day, and then I would get home and I'd be exhausted from sitting at a desk all day. So I would just play video games and smoke weed, and the easiest, and because painkillers fuck up your stomach when you're recovering from a surgery, I would eat them with I would eat a Klondike bar to make sure they didn't fuck up my stomach every time I took one. So yes, I gained about 10 pounds more onto my body, although right now I actually weigh the most I've ever weighed. I'm gonna guess some of it's muscle, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. It doesn't really matter. Okay. You know, because at the end of the day, being mean to fat people is not going to do anything for anyone. It's not going to do anything for them. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to do anything for me. Being mean to fat people is a waste of everyone's time. If fat people want to lose weight, that's their choice. I encourage everyone to exercise and get lots of physical activity that's good for circulation, and skinny and fat people need circulation. It's good for everybody. Now, that doesn't mean they have to go do CrossFit like a psychopath and destroy their knees and back just because they want to fit into some standardized model of how human beings should look. And do corporations have some responsibility for shoving unhealthy sugar down our throats, along with processed meats, which also, by the way, have hidden sugar in them, and deep fried food like this? Like it all comes down to like, this is America. Everyone's an individual. Should we give people all the information? All we can do, and all that we could ethically ever do, is let people know that some foods are better to eat than others. After that, it's everyone's own choices. And even then, like, I meet fat vegans, okay? It's not like everyone's body is different. Everyone's going to respond to food differently. Different people's metabolisms process fat and sugar and stuff in different ways. Some body types are meant to carry more weight. They just are. So this concept of believing that we should all conform to some imaginary standard that most people can't, and we hide, but we don't think about it because most people are hiding that fact that they can't with their shirt and shit. It's just absurd. And I think it's disgusting that Tucker Carlson is trying to like push this over onto obesity when that's not what any of this is about. Sorry, I went on a weird tirade there, but I think some of the stuff I said was important. I apologize if I'm misinformed on any of those topics, being, not a fat person. Also, I don't know if fat is the right term. I see some people saying it's a slur, and I see other people in the fat community who are like, no, this is the only appropriate term. So I don't know what to call it, okay? But fuck Tucker Carlson. I'm trying, is what I'm saying.
CNN political analyst and notably unhappy person Kirsten Powers attacked this show for our, quote, misogynist, anti-trans, fatphobic garbage rhetoric.
Because you did do that, Tucker. You literally came on television and was like, hey, why can't I sexualize these M&Ms? Why can't I project my male gaze onto these pieces of hot chocolate? Like, that's what you did, Tucker. That's incredibly sexist. It's weird to go on a tirade about how you don't get a boner for candy anymore. It's nonsense and sexist. And you keep bringing up the fat thing, and like, they're fucking peanut and almond M&Ms. Of course they look bigger than the other. Jesus Christ.
Congressman Richie Torres of New York did the same. So did Bloomberg and Forbes and the New York Times.
Yeah, you even got bitched out by Forbes. I'm sorry. Back in my day, Forbes was a very right-wing new publication. But now, everything else is so far to the left. Everything now is so far to the right that Forbes looks centrist. It's absurd to me. But moving forward.
It made you wonder if all these people are secretly being paid to flack for corporate America. Probably not. They just...
Tucker, you work for Fox News. You are part of corporate America. You are part of a corporation. This thing where you project the evils of corporations while also being a corporation is absurd. Kind of like how Fox News is like, we're the number one rated news channel. But also at the same time, you can't trust the mainstream media. If you're the number one rated news channel, you are the mainstream media, you dumbasses. That's what that is. That's what mainstream means. It means you are the most viewed. You are the most connected to. You're the stream the most people drink from. That's why it's called the mainstream, because it feeds all the other streams. You are that stream. You can't be the number one news channel and also not be mainstream. That's the definition. And yes, everyone works for corporations. Welcome to America, you lunatic.
Just can't stand the idea that candy isn't political. Well,
You're
for most of it,
you're the one making it political. You're literally the guy making it political. You're the one who made this political. Before, it was just people changing them in them shoes. And then you got mad. It wasn't sexy anymore. And now here we are. having this stupid conversation. Are you serious? Are you for real? What is wrong with you? Tucker Carlson, you gross candy pervert. You are one of the shystiest pieces of shit on the planet. I'm just gonna say that. You're weird. You are weird. Everything about you, Tucker Carlson, is weird. Like literally, if you have half a brain, you have to look at this and go, and you can only go one of two ways of it if you have half a brain. If you don't have half a brain, there's only two ways you can go with this. Either one, Tucker Carlson is genuinely a weirdo who wants to whack off to M&Ms. Or Tucker Carlson is a shameless grifter trying to build up a culture war for ratings, who doesn't give a fuck about anything but making money. He is fatphobic. His statements were misogynistic. He is a gross nerd of a man. And as a fellow nerd, fuck you, Tucker Carlson. You should bring back your bow tie. So everyone, he should. I think accidentally Jon Stewart armed him for his rise to power by telling him to get rid of his bow tie. Because no sensible alpha male would ever listen to another man in a bow tie. We could have cut his audience out from under him the second the bow tie came out. Because Jon Stewart was right. It did make him look like a child. At the end of the day, I just can't believe I'm talking about this again. I mean, come on. It's weird. So what is it, Tucker? Do you really want to fuck M&Ms, or are you just a shameless grifter? I demand a response from you, Tucker Carlson. Otherwise, you're just a coward. Now I know some of you are saying, well, it's unlikely, Tucker. At this point in your podcast, Ruben, it's unlikely that Tucker Carlson will end up hearing you make that challenge. To which I say, that's his problem. He's still a coward. Thank you for listening to Ruben Uncut. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. However, also, I need to start promoting this. I got a YouTube channel now. So go there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If I get enough people to subscribe, maybe I won't be so poor. I'm so poor. But anyways, so please do go like, share, and follow my content there. I haven't got much up yet. I've just started uploading videos. I'm not uploading them in order. I'm just going to try and get the content up there until I catch up to my regular releases. Once that happens, I will probably release the YouTube maybe a day after my initial audio upload. But I won't do that until I catch up. I got a lot of episodes to upload, so who knows how long that'll take. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Rock on. Power to the M&Ms. Hello and welcome back to the M&M News. I'm, of course, Pretzel M&M, your news anchor. Good news today. Tucker Carlson was captured in an M&M sting. He was lured to the house of what he thought was going to be a sexy M&M. But when he got there, what was really waiting for him was Chris Hansen. Tucker Carlson is now on his way to prison, where he will be held in M&M prison for an extended period of time. The trials are set to go forward at the start of next month, although they're predicting it will be difficult to find a jury of M&Ms who won't just immediately throw the book at him. And now, on to M&M weather. It's gonna rain M&Ms. Our universe makes no sense.